Well, look who's back, fight fans. It's your boy Jay Smooth here with
Alex. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Ringside Beer Show.
Episode 31 to be exact.
31. If this is your first time, welcome. We have new episodes every Tuesday, so please like, comment, and subscribe. And well, let's get right into it. I mean, how was your weekend? How's everything?
My weekend wasn't long enough.
Long?
Is it ever really?
No, but you got some good news today.
Yeah, I
don't know if you were
got a little bit of good news. We're going to wait till things come into fruition. But I did get some good news, and I will eventually share it with the people that need to know.
Also, we have Hector back in the building.
Sup with it? Actually,
you want to say hi?
Can we let Hector say hello?
All right, we have him calling in. By next episode, hopefully we have his seat and mic set up. Everything's coming in shipment. But let's hear a little quick word from Hector since everyone wants to hear you. All right, ready? Set. Go ahead, man.
Ringside Beer Show. Think that has been fun.
We're gonna listen to mute that. We're cutting out.
It was very choppy, but we'll take that for now.
You're gonna have to put the phone up closer to your mouth, and
we're gonna make it.
Don't worry, we're gonna make it happen, bro.
Yes.
All right. So your weekend was great.
Yes.
You said it was short. Great news. We'll let the listeners next week maybe. But then you should know.
Maybe a couple weeks. I mean, I don't know. We'll give it some time because life happens. In this process, apparently they have some real strict requirements. Hopefully your boy is up to par.
Oh yeah, you got it, man. Don't even trip. You got it.
Right.
You got it. Dude, my weekend was pretty fun, which we'll go into current events. Me and Sam, my wife, we went to this art show by Jian Glang, and it was called The Art of Fighting. And I'm telling you, man, I'm such a big fan. He's done work with Reebok, UFC. That's how I've heard of him. His style is has very like an organic feel to it, but I mean, how would you describe it? I mean, you're a fan of his work too. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's this is his stuff right here.
Yes. I would say his work is genuine. When I look at it, it's just genuine. Like, it's genuine to himself, it's genuine to the sport, it's genuine to the actual flow of art.
Genuine, man. Here we go. So the first slide of Hector is The Art of Fighting. Go back. So it's The Art of Fighting, March 13th through the 28th here in California. So if you have a chance, go check it out. It's in LA County. It's in the Gallery Nucleus in Los Angeles. And when we first got there, he had a Q&A because we were the first ones there. We were there for his first day. And it was pretty cool. We listened to his Q&A. You had to reserve your seat, I guess you would say, your ticket to get into a certain time slot. They were just being extra safe. I have other stories, but I'm not even going to show those on this one. But so the two images right there that you just passed, Hector, those were the exclusive giveaways. I wasn't going to share it because I thought it was like a secret, but he posted on his Instagram. So I was like, oh, I can share it now. Yeah. I purchased the right one. It was the girl axe kick. The other one, I think, was called like Knockdown. I think this is the title of the painting. He signed them. It was numbered out of 20. I got number 420. And so it's like it was meant to be, bro.
Sometimes it works out that way.
Yeah, his work was phenomenal. That was the biggest painting at the art show, and I took a photo with him. I was so nervous meeting him. I don't know why. It was like for me, because I'm coming from an artist background. It was seeing someone that you've seen grow and seeing his career from, like, I watched him at the beginning of his Fightland career. Yeah. When he was doing stuff for Vice, and he signed with he did some stuff with Plastic Cells, which is like the little, not the bobbleheads, but like the custom, I don't know what you call them, like the little
custom art figures
where they have like The Weeknd, Ninja Turtles, Joe Rogan, where he's at the classic, what do you call it? The kettlebell that's flipping around.
Adesanya.
Roy McDonald, he did that one. Bruce Lee. Speaking about Bruce Lee, I went to his show. I did not expect to see Shannon Lee there, Bruce Lee's daughter.
Oh, wow, that's tight.
It was like, what? Well, I was mainly there for his art show. I was like, cool, hey, what's up? How you doing? I've been a big fan. And completely forgot Bruce Lee's daughter's like right here.
That's awesome.
I was like, what is going on? I was like, I wish I would have taken a photo, But I mean, I was busy. I was there for the art show. So me and Sam had lots of fun. It was great. His work is very detailed. I don't know why when you look at it on your phone, you don't think it's like it's immaculate, right? Like you don't think it has a bunch of imperfections or a lot of what's the correct word? It had a bunch of textures in the white, and I thought the whites were buttery smooth. Like you see this photo, you don't think it's like there's textures in that blank area, but there are.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that was one thing I was like, oh man, I don't know why I thought everything was so silky smooth, like it was a print, like a digital print or something.
It's just, I mean, it kind of just goes to show you, even as an artist yourself, you kind of, even to this day, people are still able to do their own thing and kind of switch it up and change it up on the eye,
Yeah.
Even for an artist to be able to look at something like, wow, I was expecting something different.
Yeah. All his work had a cohesive look to it, except for the Muhammad Ali, the Bruce Lee. Everything else had a very similar look, very clean look. I liked it. I loved how he had like see that inch border frame on that painting right there?
Yeah.
Or on that frame? It was all black on the sides, and he had signed it gold on all the. I was like, dude, that is fire. Just that little attention to detail, man. Everything was super clean. Yeah, great dude too.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I think you were just nervous because you see, we judge people off success, right? I mean, that's unfortunately the way of the land. And this gentleman here is successful in his field and something that he enjoys to do, something that he's really good at, and you can relate. So that's where,
nice.
You see him and you're like, oh man, like this guy is where I'm going to be in 2 years.
No, I mean, I'm just a fan because, I mean, remember we went to the Mayweather-McGregor thing?
Yes.
And obviously a bunch of fight fans there. Some of them knew who I was and wanted to take a photo with me. And Sam took a picture with the girl. And I just particularly remember, I was like, I was her at this art show. I was like, She was like, oh, can I take a photo with you, Alex? And I'm like, for sure. Heck yeah. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Thank you for liking my work. She's like, oh my God, I like your stuff. I'm pretty sure she still follows me, but I felt like I was like that. I was a fan at an art show, and he saw that I was wearing the UFC mask, and he's like, dude, the second I saw that mask, I was like, cool guy. I was like, all MMA guys are cool. I was like, dude, that's so sick, man. After that, just congratulate him on his art show. Great stuff, and wish him nothing but success,
Yeah, high quality work, man.
Great work,
and we
man.
appreciate it.
Like, I saw that, and I'm like, I'm inspired, dude. I was so heavily inspired. I was like, I need to get back into painting.
Yeah, you do, man, because, I mean, from all the work that I've seen, you got a lot of talent.
Yeah, thank you, my dude. Thank you. Well, congratulations on Jingling on our first art show. And we'll go on to the next current event. You want to take this one, dude?
Sure.
It's your boy.
Yeah, we don't try to shine too much light, but we'll get through this slide with as painless as possible. So it looks like here my boy Freddie Roach was training Ben Askren, and he tweeted, Ben Askren here for the advice to take back for his training camp for his April 17th fight. Now, if I may, I got to say, I do respect Freddie Roach, everything he's done for boxing, the amount of people that went to him for training. I mean, he's legitimate, and I don't have a problem with Ben Askren training with Freddie Roach. I think my issue is just the fact that Ben Askren's boxing. That's the issue. I'm not too happy about it. I don't think this is going to be anywhere near
He
worth
needs
anybody's time.
all the help he can get, my dude. He needs all that. This is the thing. He's a professional athlete. If Jake Paul knocks him out, because we all know Ben Askren's striking is not up there.
Right.
His wrestling is a different story. He's an Olympic gold wrestler,
One FC champion.
Won by wrestling.
Bellator champion.
Bellator. Yeah, but in boxing, I mean, we all saw what Damian Maia and him, they both tried to strike because they couldn't take each other down, and that was brutal to watch.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be my outlook, and this is all I'm going to say about this fight, and we will continue to the next slide.
Let's do it.
But this is what I got to say. Ben Askren has won championships in mixed martial arts, okay? And that does require standing up. So that means he can take a shot. That means he's able to give some shots back. So with all of this doubt on Ben Askren, it does come at it's legitimate, but we got to recognize as well, he was a champion in two different types of fighting divisions, fighting organizations. And he was able to defend himself except for the George Masvidal knee. But last time I checked, knees aren't legal in boxing, and it's just going to be the stand-up game. That's just my opinion. So with all of that being said, I think it is going to be interesting, but not something that we recommend spending your money on.
I feel like I'm gonna watch it no matter what because I'm pulling for Ben Askren because
somebody's gonna stop this, bro.
a lot of is riding on Ben Askren because if he does not win, the YouTube world with boxers and pro athletes like that's gonna continue. It's
somebody's got to stop it.
We need Ben Askren to go in there and win that fight against Jake Paul.
Just imagine he knocks out Jake Paul. Dana White comes out and he's like, I told you I'd bet you $1 million.
Oh, that's right. They have a bet. And Jake Paul wants to double it, make it $2 million.
Even Snoop Dogg came out and said, double it to $2 million and I'll back it too. Oh. But you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing Snoop take an L.
Who is he backing? He's backing
Jake Paul.
Oh, no.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't mind seeing Snoop take an L. Because if we all have seen the meme where Snoop Dogg took a loss on Madden and he lost his mind.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. What is Hector trying to say? We're here. Go ahead.
Snoop's selling out. That's why he's backing Jake Paul. He had his reality show. He had his reggae music coming out that didn't sell. So he's just selling out. That's probably why.
Dang.
He's backing YouTube.
All right, Hector. I want to meet you real quick.
You know what? We need to get Hector on camera for this one because that was a hot take.
That was a little hot take. Look at Hector just like in the back, just causing all this chaos.
I do agree. I mean, he was even beefing with Eminem at this point recently, just stating that the world doesn't need him and he can do without it. Yeah, they were all.
Oh wait, the greatest rapper alive.
That's what I'm saying.
Tripping.
I mean, Snoop, we don't really have to.
You know what's funny about this? There's no rapper that goes after Eminem and like. I mean, you see what happened to Ja. You saw what happened to Ja Rule. Yeah, that his career
up too.
Ended it back. Yeah.
MGK.
Yeah, MGK went punk rock.
You don't want to smoke with my boy Marshall Mathers.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get off that topic. I wish everything for the best for Ben Askren. Hopefully he gets enough training with those hands.
We're rooting for him. We are rooting.
Yeah, let's go into the next one. Megan Anderson enters free agency after UFC 259 loss against Amanda Nunes.
Well, if I was the UFC, I probably wouldn't have re-signed her after that performance either, because it looked like she was pale, like she's seen a ghost, and she just was shaking in her boots. That's what it looked like to me. I don't know about you.
Nah, I mean, I don't think she was scared. I think she just wasn't. I mean, let's be real. A lot of the girls are not even coming close to Amanda Nunes. They're as far as skill level.
But the size difference, bro. I mean, it just felt like she lost the fight before she stepped in the ring.
Yeah.
And that's what scared me was just like when she was walking out, she'd lost the color of her skin, bro.
Oh my God.
Like literally, all right? Like coming from a gentleman who has fairly similar skin color.
Yeah, I was just going to say, hold on. How are you going to be hating on her?
I'm just calling it like I see it. You can literally tell when a cat like me goes from peach to pale. I'm just saying, bro. You could tell when I've seen a
You're
ghost.
like one shade. You're like one closed off area. You're just like when you stay in for one weekend and you get extra pale. You know?
There's many shades of white.
Hey.
I just felt like she was shaking in her boots. I felt like she had much more to offer. She didn't even throw a freaking single punch is what it felt like. And if I was the UFC, I wouldn't have re-signed her.
I mean,
send her to Bellator.
If anything, well, the 145-pound division is cleaned out.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? I mean,
call it a quit.
Are they going to get rid of it?
Call it a night.
We'll see. I don't know. But what did she say here?
She said, in light of the news that came out yesterday, I wanted to address my fans and say thank you for all the love and support you have sent me over the past few days. Saturday night was fight number 6 of my 6-fight deal with the UFC. I had an amazing run with the promotion, culminating in a UFC world title fight. If you know me and the journey I have been on, just to reach the pinnacle of the sport is something I am incredibly proud of. I want to thank my team and everybody at the UFC for the past 3 years. It has been amazing to perform for my fans on such a big stage. I'm looking to rest up and heal from my injuries before I decide what is next for my MMA career. Regardless on what the UFC decides to do with the women's 145 division, there are plenty of opportunities for me across the world to continue to do what I love. Thank you all and stay tuned.
It almost seems like she's leaving the company. Is it me or
Yeah,
it
it was
kind
a
of reads off like that?
It
Like
was a farewell. We'll smell you later. I think she might be, and she said across the country. So I feel either One FC might pick her up.
one could pick her up, yeah.
Yeah, PFL. There's so many options. I mean, at this point, she's still a hot ticket. I would say she still is a draw. Although Amanda Nunes, like,
She can go to
her.
Bellator.
Yeah, she can go to Bellator. I mean, they have a pretty solid 145 division for the ladies over there. Cyborg.
Oh no, hold on! You can't throw her to Cyborg after Amanda.
I'm just saying that's going to be the equivalent of the Amanda Nunes in Bellator will be Cyborg. So
yeah, but I mean, God, there's no easy fight.
What is
for
it?
her,
What is it? Coca-Cola, RC.
You're gonna get the same thing, dude.
Yeah, it's not even Pepsi, like RC. You know, like I'm just
oh my gosh! All right, let's go on to the next one. Holly Holm got pulled out of her next fight with Julianna Pena, and Julianna Pena's been going on a rant trying to get that Amanda Nunes fight. But this is what Holly Holm said.
Hydroprognosis, what? Much love to everyone reaching out with care and concern. Turns out I have hydroprognosis. In my case, it's something they say I was born with, but just hadn't had any problems until now. I'm doing great and will be fine. A little bump in the road, but thankfully it's fixable. I hope to only have to postpone a few weeks from the original date of May 8th to fight. Excited to get back in there and put it all on the line for you guys.
Now, I'm not no doctor, but I have no idea what that is. Hector, can you look that up?
Yeah, I'm not a doctor either. I mean, your boy only got a PhD in the streets.
I mean, we do a lot of bro science here, but it's
yeah,
not
we do a little
actual
bro
science here.
Yeah, because MMA math just don't add up.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I
hope it's nothing serious, though. I don't want to
yeah.
crack any jokes if it's serious. All right, Hector,
Pretty
call in.
serious,
What is
huh?
it? All right. So go ahead.
So, hydroprognosis is a condition criticized by excess fluid in the kidney due to a backup of urine. That's what that is.
Oh, okay.
So an inflamed
Thank you.
kidney.
Inflamed kidney. Okay.
Well, I'm glad it's fixable. I'm glad it is something that still is going to allow her to fight. Similar to what happened to Chris Levert in the NBA, he got traded from the Nets to the Pacers in part of this James Harden deal. Did not realize he had a benign tumor on his kidney. They actually removed it, and he was able to play, and he scored his first points back in a Pacers jersey. So the crazy thing about today's day and age is the medical industry. I mean, the medical field is so awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know firsthand.
I know
bro.
firsthand.
Yeah, what they were able to do just for your son.
Yeah.
Let alone what they do for people on a daily. It's fascinating. I mean, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, no, they're all great. Especially right now during the pandemic, they are not only risking themselves, they are trying to get everyone back to health. You know, they're the real heroes right now. So give it up to everybody in the medical field and helping everyone out right now.
Shout out to your wife. I don't want to say what she does, but
thanks.
She's an essential worker, bro.
Thank you. She's super essential. Yeah, that title, essential worker. She comes home and be like, "Hey, I'm essential. What have you done all day?" And I'm like, "Hey, what?"
We all know who's the real essential.
Yeah.
All right.
Nah, yeah. Shout out to the wife. Yeah, she's all good. All right, Hector wants to. What happened? Oh, Hector hung up on me.
Goodness.
Oh,
My boy was done. He was like, "I'm out."
Yeah, he says he's done with this
He
podcast.
had his 15 minutes of fame, and he bounced.
He's like, enough of you guys. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
No problem. So, speaking of the fighter that pulled out of the fight between Holly Holm and Julianna Pena, Julianna Pena is now left with nothing, and she calls for the title fight against Amanda Nunes because nobody else is calling her out. She says, "I feel like stylistically, I'm the worst possible matchup for her. I'm her kryptonite. I do believe that she knows that. I definitely think that it's very clear that she doesn't want to fight me." And further in that interview, she even went deeper, if you got a chance to watch it. And she was saying, like, look, I have reasons as to why I feel like she's ducking me. Who did she say? She beat some chick that beat Amanda Nunes back in the day. Long story short, she tried to really paint a picture of why she deserves the shot and honestly seemed justified to me. So I think Julianna Pena should be the next fight at 135. Or you hold out and you let Holly Holm and Julianna Pena work that out, and then the winner of that gets Amanda
No,
Nunes again.
I think I agree with the first statement you made where Julianna Pena, because she's the only one who's calling her out. Who else is calling Amanda Nunes out? Not one fighter.
Henry Cejudo.
Henry, yeah, that king of cringe, man. Yeah. He's always trying to fight the girls. He's like, I'll fight that 145-pounder over there.
That boy's
Like,
trying to
dude, can you
get gold
chill?
any way he can.
Yeah, he's trying to get that 125, that 115. Like, chill out, man. You're tiny. Who were you? Were you there with me when we went to Anaheim?
Yeah, I was there.
You were there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it was just me and my dad when I saw him.
I was there with the Jones Cormier 2 fight.
Yeah, but no, we weren't there.
Uh-huh.
But when Cejudo was actually out in the field on the fan village signing stuff, were you there at the Modelo? Who? No. Anyways, he was there. Tiny guy, very small.
Yeah, when we went,
Height-wise, yeah.
When we went, it was Cynthia Calvillo,
here.
Paige Van Zant, Tony.
No, it wasn't
Rumble.
that one. No, because they had a
Rumble back then.
Yeah, Rumble.
We were like, damn, that
huge.
dude's big.
Yeah, no, tiny dude. I just remember he was in the Modelo area. This was when Brian Ortega and George Masvidal were there.
Oh yeah,
Signing.
that
No,
wasn't
you guys. Okay,
Wasn't me.
then it was just me and my dad. Then, yeah, I just remember he was super small. But anyways, yeah, that dude's always trying to pick on girls.
Yeah,
Like, chill
no,
out.
for real, seriously.
All right. Oh, the last current event, which is the breaking news, the big one that just got announced today, is Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua finally got signed.
Yes, sir.
No other official announcements, but look at Hector dancing in the back. Officially now,
All this talk, and they finally put
the
some
mega
pen to
fight.
the paper.
Now, when this is obviously going to happen in summer, right? More than likely, it's going to
More
happen
than
in summer.
Yeah, more than
Yeah, probably. Well, no, because Canelo's fighting May 8th. So
It's got to
not
be
gonna happen
around
May,
June,
so-
July, maybe
July?
September.
Yeah.
September.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the big news that happened today.
How you feel about it?
I'm actually excited. You've been talking about teasing and pleasing. I'm like, dude, just give me the fight, dudes.
Yeah, no, this is enough of
you're-
the teasing.
I
I'm
know.
starting to get turned off. Remember?
So Hector's all looking at us like, what are you guys talking about? He's like, no. So Jason would always talk about you gotta please. What do you got? You gotta tease. You gotta do a little foreplay.
This guy wants to
You
always go straight for the big fights, bro.
Exactly.
Doesn't want to let nothing percolate. He don't want to let nothing boil, nothing simmer. He
well, this is
wants
the
to
thing.
go straight to the source, right? Go right at it. I'm like, hey, guy, where's a little, a little pleasure, a little foreplay?
You're like, no, bro, you gotta just go with the smackdown. If you smell what the Rock is cooking,
This boy wants to lay the Thor hammer, and I'm trying to ease your way in, guy. That's all I'm
Anyways,
saying.
well, look, prime example. We just lost that Adesanya versus John Jones super fight that was supposed to happen this year, all because there was too much little foreplay. Now everyone's
It's all good
tired.
because it makes my boy John Jones look like the real gangster at the end of the day, and we all know.
Yo,
We all know who the real
I have
gangster
I have
is.
both John Jones fans right here screaming up the wazoo.
One of us.
Hey, da da da, da da da. Da, 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 da. Let's get into some ringside beer. Dun, 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 with our sponsorship.
Here
All
we
right,
go.
Here
Dun,
we
dun,
go.
dun. Ringside Beer. Since 2012, committed to bringing fight fans quality lagers and ales. Ringside Beer is proud to offer fresh beer in both 16-ounce cans and on draft. Look for our flagship American-style lager, Irish-style red ale, or any of our other beers in your area. Shop at ringsidebeerstore.com for t-shirts, hats, and tap handles. Get in touch at ringsidebeer.com. Get in the ring. Be ringside. Ringside Beer.
Dude, that was probably my favorite segment into our sponsorship.
That was
Da,
pretty.
da,
That
da.
pretty, was
That-
pretty
we didn't even
fluid.
script that. That just came off the fly, man.
That was pretty solid, bro.
That was solid, man.
You know what we call that? We call that schmoo.
Oh, you took that?
No, you can have
I
it.
thought that was mine, man.
No, you can have it, bro.
Oh man, a great weekend of a boxing fight. The MMAs, we'll get into that one.
Yes, we will.
But a shout out to the homie Hector. He texted me and was like, "Hey man, are you watching the Estrada versus Chocolatito 2 fight on DAZN?" I was like, "No man." All right, he's like, "Check it out. It's fire." Checked it out. I'm telling you, from start to finish, one of the greatest boxing matches that I've ever seen. It's if you have not seen it, watch on DAZN. Both combined through over 2,000 something punches, 2,300. Do you want to talk about a little about this fight, Hector, so we can call you in? All right, here we go. This is Hector. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's my first time, guys. So be gentle and don't make fun of me.
It's okay,
Right.
man.
So the main event of the Estrada Chocolatito fight was ridiculous. Again, like Alex said, from round 1 to round 12, nonstop action. They threw over 2,000. I think it was like 2,300 punches between the two.
Yep.
So it was insane. Let's see. Estrada wants to fight Chocolatito again for a third one, but Chocolatito said that he doesn't feel like he needs to because he feels he won both of the fights. But if he wants a third fight, he'll get it. If he wants it, just confine him. But if it's not Chocolatito, then he wants to face the mandatory number 1 contender, who is a Russian name that I can't pronounce. Skryket.
Gorka.
Skryket Run Gustavo. I can't pronounce his name. I'm really bad for
You get an A for
It's
effort.
all good. All right, Hector. Are you so good?
No, that's it.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, man, it's great. 2,300 plus punches, roughly. I mean, it's insane the pace that they put on. It picked up. So first round they started going. You could tell it's already gonna be an active fight. Third round starts, and immediately both fighters just say screw it, let's just throw even more punches. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, round 1 and 2 were just great. I was like, they're starting off great. Round 3 is picking up. And it looks like it's a close fight to me. Estrada was picking up the rounds towards the second half. And Estrada, in the 11th, I felt in the 12th as well. Chocolatito was coming back. Estrada was getting clipped by Chocolatito. He was, oh my God, dude. He almost got put away in that last round. You have to check it out. He landed some vicious combos. Estrada's feet were coming off the ground, and he was just like this. It's like, all right, let's keep on going. And I'm like, Chocolatito's about to take it. He's about to take it. Me and Sam were just screaming just screaming in this room. Yeah, watching the fight. It was great, man. I thank you for the recommendation. We didn't even hear about this fight last week. It just went under the radar. And
super under the radar.
yeah, that's why we didn't have it on our fights to watch this weekend or anything like that. So on our last episode, great fight. Check it out if you guys haven't.
And if I may, I would
go
like to
ahead.
say great job to Hector, dude. He did a great job. First time calling in. And you know what? Just for that, we're going to put you on the camera next time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, great job, man. You took a bunch of notes down. Went above and beyond, man. Shout out to Hector. Seriously.
Shout out to Hector, dude.
Shout out to Hector. And who won? Juan Francisco Estrada won,
Para mi gente.
Para mi gente, Mexico. Mexico won that one.
Para la raza.
Yeah, great. It was a very close fight. It could have gone to either one, but it's 1-1 each. They set up for a trilogy, so yeah, I hope it happens. And I'm a big fan of Chocolatito, man. That dude throws everything. Estrada's a great fighter too, and he won. I felt like you deserved it too. But it's 1-1. They had to have the trilogy set up. Now let me call in Hector really quick.
So what I was telling my dad when we were watching the fight is that the Estrada versus Chocolatito should have been what Canelo versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. should have been. A true Mexican Latino boxing fight. Just throwing hands. That's what it should have been. But we didn't get it. But that's what Estrada and Chocolatito gave us, though. And that was like that was a good fight. Just plain and simple. Good fight.
No, it was definitely great. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I can't believe he didn't call him he's not a real Mexican. His dad's gonna be like,
I mean, it's not that he said he didn't call him real Mexican. He just said that he didn't meet the Mexican standard. You know what I'm saying?
All right, here, I'm gonna call him back in. He wants to say something.
Hold on. Before you start calling me out, no. So when they first said Canelo versus Chavez Jr. was going to fight, Chavez Jr. said that he wants to be the face of Mexican boxing. So he's going to fight a Mexican fight. So when they fought, Canelo was the Mexican fighter. Chavez Jr. was a bitch pretty much the entire fight. I'm sorry. That's what it was.
I mean, he's not lying. He's not lying.
Yo, I cannot wait for next week to get Hector a seat and a camera because I'm telling you, he's gonna
got the hot takes, boy.
He's gonna bring the hot takes.
I
bring a lot of spice to the podcast.
I thought I brought the spice.
I told you, Hector be on it, man.
Hey, bro, I love it. Hey, it's all good because over here we're down for ours, homie.
Yeah, man. All right, so that was a great boxing event. There was a ton of boxing fights that were under there were well worth talking about, but we have another event that happened over the weekend. UFC Vegas 21, Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad, and
I wish we had
What
like a
a-
sound of the air being let out the balloon.
Tell me, all right. The last episode, the very last thing I said on our episode 30 was, I don't want to jinx this fight. And what happened?
Yeah, it got cursed.
All I said, I just want to see a great fight, and it became a no contest. And it was just
It was everything far from a good fight.
It was
everything but a good fight.
Anywho, Hector wrote some notes on the fights leading up, and we want to give him a couple, like a minute talking about it. All right, man. Here, take it away, Hector.
Okay, so the main event, Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad, ended in a did not finish or could not finish.
No contest.
Oh, no contest. Sorry, on the little thing it said could not finish, but no contest. Okay. Due to an eye poke from Edwards to Muhammad.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so after the fight was said and done and everything was on Edwards' post-fight interview, he said he didn't mean to poke him in the eye. He said that he went into it and he had his fist open. But that was pretty much it. Dana White also said that if Edwards would have won that fight, he would have gone a title shot against Usman after.
Oh, okay. So let's pause on that one. So Dana White even said if he would have won this fight, he was next in line. What do you do with Leon Edwards now? He doesn't want to give Muhammad the rematch, which I think it's pretty messed up. I think it's
that's a douchebag move, bro.
Yeah, I mean, all right, go to the next slide, Hector. We have, what do we have here? Look at that poke. Look at that eye poke. It looks like he went in there and dragged out. Now,
I mean, even if you go back just to the fighting sequence, you can tell the way they had to warn him. Watch the hands.
They did warn him in the first round.
And what frustrates me is, this just reiterates the need to have the conversation about changing the gloves. Because if you look at what Bellator has done with their gloves, you don't hear this too much over there. Even with a guy like Michael Venom Page, you know what I mean? Like cats that lead with these hands, these John Jones wannabes. And what really, I mean, you could see a style and you could jock it, but we all know where it comes from. But the biggest thing for me is just really like fighter safety. This right here, it just ruins everything about the division and about what's going on with these fights. Because first of all, Leon Edwards needs to give Belal that rematch. That's just common courtesy, bro. Secondly, fighter safety. How many people are gonna end up like Michael Bisping and get their eye taken from them? Like this is a serious sport where these long-lasting injuries can be prevented, all from getting just a little more curvature on the glove. And then lastly, what really is happening now is, what do you do with Edwards? Do you make a mandatory fight this guy again? Do you reward him and let him get a title shot? Do you throw him against somebody even lower now? It's like it's just a crap situation to be in. Right?
I think, you would have to. All right, there's a lot of fighters talking about they need to change the gloves and everything. Leon Edwards, I didn't put the slide in here, but he's pretty much saying that it's a 1 in a million. Event that happened. Like it wouldn't happen again, even if that fight would be run back a couple more times.
If I may, did you know 73% of all statistics are made up on the spot?
Yeah,
just like that one I said right there. So the 1 in a million.
I'm just
the 1 in a million thing. I love his reference because it's like
I'm just quoting Leon Edwards. This is not
he's just trying. I know he's just trying to justify, like, it's a freak accident. No, my boy, you led with the fingers out. A plus B equals C.
Now he can't see. So, yeah, man. I just can't, man. This was easy. It was. But the fight is just I felt like this was supposed to happen because Leon Edwards has had just a horrible bad luck year with, and I was like, you know what? Hopefully, I just want to see a good fight. And we didn't even get that. We only got 1 round, and it was over. Now,
ideally, if we can speak a little bit on that fight, you could tell Leon Edwards was the winner of that first round, and you can you can see the pace of the fight and where it was going. But it's a fight, dude. People get knocked out in one shot.
Yep.
You've seen guys that are fighting and winning the whole entire fight get knocked out in the last couple of seconds. So, to me, when he goes on this, like, and we'll speak a little bit about it. I'll read the quotation right now. But when he goes on this little tirade, it's like, it's ridiculous. And let me just explain what I'm talking about. So Leon Edwards says in quotations, "I don't feel I need to fight Belal again. I only fought him because all the other guys turned me down. The writing was on the wall. I was winning the fight clearly. I don't feel I need to fight him again. I need to move forward. I feel I deserve a title shot now. Why should I go another 10 fights to get a title shot. I believe I deserve a title shot next. Let's dissect this a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's dissect it a little bit.
Dana White even said if you would have won, you would have gotten it. You didn't win. It was a no contest.
Yeah,
so they're going to give you another fight.
Absolutely. So. And look at, everybody was turning you down because look at how cursed you are, bro. They don't want to get poked in the eye. All right. Secondly, you do have to fight him again. That is what you have to do. There's morals, there's ethics, and there's value, even in a sport like mixed martial arts. You need to give that guy his due. That's some bullshit. It's a shit show what you're running over there, and I don't like you, Leon Edwards. After this, bro, I am all for the 3-piece and a soda. You know what I'm saying? You need another serving, my boy.
Oh, you want him to fight Masvidal? Dude, I would like that.
It's about time.
They have not settled that. That would be a big fight for Leon Edwards. Masvidal doesn't really get anything out of it. I think Masvidal just wants the title fight next with Usman. Or
I bet you he gets a whole lot of pay-per-view buys on that one. I bet you.
Oh, with Leon Edwards?
I bet you.
Oh.
I know I'd pay for it.
Yeah, you probably. But the thing is, what would be on the line? It wouldn't be pay-per-view.
Dignity, pride.
No. You need a gold belt to go along with that because you need to sell on the posters. Dana White
so this is what Masvidal got to do. He got to win that belt, take it from Usman, and then not give Usman a rematch.
Well, you give the interim title. You create an interim title for this.
Yeah,
Masvidal versus Leon Edwards for the interim title. Winner of this gets Kamaru Usman. Damn, did I just do the UFC job for them?
Just like we do every podcast.
Every podcast.
Ba-dum. Nick Maynard.
Because it has a great story, great lead up. Everyone knows about the 3-piece and the soda, because of that. And Leon Edwards did nothing. Hector saying he didn't know about that 3-piece and a soda. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Canes.
It's crazy though. I mean, with all that being said, Leon Edwards, we cannot take away what he has done prior to this. So up to that fight, he did have everything he's saying about it. He was right before the fight, but now that fight happened, we have to take that into consideration. You're an eye poker. You just got DQ'd for something that was illegal, and you're not going to get rewarded for that, bro. It's just not how it goes.
Yeah.
So he needs to take a step back. But he explained a little bit more on why he thinks he deserves a shot. So he says, "I have worked my way back up from last getting defeated by Kamaru Usman. I have fought everybody. I have offered to fight everybody. So I feel I deserve a title shot now." I don't think that's just how it works.
It sucks because he is on a winning streak. This last fight was kind of like a weird, it wasn't supposed to happen if everything went well. You know what I mean?
We all know
because if anything, it was all an upside for Muhammad, and it was all a downside for Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
Leon Edwards
he
just
shouldn't have took that fight. He shouldn't have took the fight. That's just on him. And it's all about what have you done for me lately? Like when have you ever seen guys get rewarded for taking fights instead of just sitting out and waiting for the title? Never happens, bro. They always lose. They always mess up the opportunity. They get hurt. Something happens. Yada yada. I was born a couple days ago, but I wasn't born yesterday. And I truly believe I'm not stupid. Come on now. You got to sit back. You got to dictate don't bite off more than you could chew. Don't take more damage than you need to. Don't fight guys that you don't need to fight, and you will get rewarded.
Yeah, well, I mean, in his case, he's been winning 10 straight fights, and now he's still not getting a title fight.
Yeah, now he's about to be penalized, bro.
Yeah. So what do we have? Muhammad post fight tweet. He says, "My heart is shattered. My heart is shattered. My first main event ended like that, but God's the best of planners. I'm sorry to the fans and the UFC. You deserved a full fight." What the heck's that say? Abdallah to the vision, or the vision is coming back, and no permanent damage to the eye. I'll be back and want to run it back. Leon Edwards. All right.
Yeah. No, this guy, I got a lot of respect for this dude. When I saw that he was crying, I knew, I was like, this is screwed. This is horrible. And then, after the way he handled himself is like he called for the rematch. He could have been way more upset. He wasn't as upset. And he even, but eventually he did get upset because he saw how Leon Edwards was conducting himself. Immediately after he was upset, but he wasn't taking it out on Leon Edwards. It was more like he's upset at the scenario. Then, further on, he got upset at Leon Edwards, and he even tweeted. He said, "Never saw someone act so tough after poking someone in the eye. The fight was just getting going, and if you're satisfied to end it on that note, you're soft. You ain't getting a title fight off that. You ain't getting a title fight off that. I took the fight on a 3-week notice and came to run it right back, UFC." So look at this guy. He deserves that rematch. And I think the way he's handling himself is like ideal in the eyes of a hardcore fan like me, because you see Leon Edwards and you respect what he has to offer, but that don't mean we gotta like you, bro. We don't gotta like you at all, and you don't. Some people don't get far being a heel. Like Kobe Covington, we all know him, but we all want his ass beat,
and he did get his ass beat.
Exactly. There's a big difference between being actually like, we all know you, and then we all want you to get fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, but there's a big difference, and now I'm rooting against Leon Edwards. I'm forever rooting against this dude because I don't like the way he handled himself. Entitled, he's entitled, and I don't like that. I just don't like it.
One thing, Herb Dean should have stopped the fight.
My boy Herb is off the herb, bro.
Dude, he was asking, he was like, "Hey, are you good?" And then when he was telling, I forgot the Bruce Buffer of like Fight Nights. What's his name?
Hernandez.
Was it? All right. Well, the other commentator. So there's Bruce Buffer who does the pay-per-views and some other fights, but there's a Fight Night guy. He was there. He was asking Herb Dean like, "Hey, what's going on?" And Herb Dean was like, "Hey, can you like fuck off for like 2 seconds? Like, did you remember that during the during the fight where he was like, hey, like give me a second, like fuck off real quick? No."
Yep. I remember that.
I was like, dude, he was just trying to figure out what was going on, and he's like, you ain't making up your mind. This is on you. It's on the ref too.
Well, this is the thing, yeah. So
if he can't see, what's he gonna say? The fighter's always going to want to fight. He's always going to want to continue.
Yeah, you're there to protect the fighter from themselves. Yeah. And at the end of the day, you don't want to be talked about and you don't want to assert yourself in the fight. Yeah. But you have an obligation at a certain point, We've discussed on this podcast, I mean, go back to the previous episodes. We've discussed what we feel is an early stoppage, what we think is a late stoppage, what we think is right on time. I've always favored even a later stoppage. I don't mind that. But in a certain instance, you got Herb Dean. You gotta step up and do your job just a little bit better. Or take a little break, bro. Because you might be working too much. You might be working too hard. It might all just be starting to blend together and you're not able to see certain things. But, like, this is becoming a common trend for Herb Dean. And eventually people are going to ask that he doesn't ref their fights. That's not what we want. We want my boy. He's top tier, He's like, he's like the,
veterans.
Exactly. We got certain people that we look up to. Big Mike, Big John.
Big John McCarthy.
Big John McCarthy. My boy, Dan Margliotta, These guys are...
Margliotta, the one that does this?
No, not that guy.
Who am I talking about? Because Dana White hates that guy, the one that was always putting the heart out.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but that dude don't even ref no more, bro. He gets freaking...
Yeah, he got so much hate.
He got canceled, bro.
Yeah, got canceled by UFC.
At the end of the day, that's how it goes. I like my boy Keith No Nonsense, bro, because he's about the no nonsense.
Yeah, man.
At the end of the day, these people have a job to do. They're just not meeting the expectation. As the sport's evolving, we expect a little bit more.
Yeah, man. Hector, you want to add to that?
Yeah.
All right,
so I just want to ask you guys are the UFC aficionados, right? Do you feel that the UFC should do a better job training these refs in situations like that? Or...
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I could add to that. The UFC has nothing to do with selecting the refs or nothing like that because that's a conflict of interest. So that's on the Nevada State Athletic Commission or whichever state they're fighting in. They have to provide those refs that are there. So the UFC has nothing to them, but they could, bitch and complain, be like, hey, this fucking referee sucks. They can do all those things.
Also, the whole system in itself needs to be revamped because it's a boxing-based system, a point system that's based on boxing. You have your judges that are coming from boxing. So not only do, the UFC should invest in some sort of like a pond, some sort of like a breeding pond that allows people to start training to be referees for MMA.
That's a great idea.
Or to be judges, or those types of things. But we have more than enough ex-fighters and we have more than enough people who train in the field to be actual referees and judges. Like, for example, if you don't know who Mark Smith is, go look up the Joe Rogan podcast and watch the episode with Mark Smith. You'll learn, like, this guy he was in the military. He was in, worked with NASA. This guy flew airplanes and shit. The coolest thing about it, like, that's a cool dude. But I'm sorry, my boy's not like a fighter, right? So he has to go and he has to train and he has to learn and he has to do all these things later on in his life after he's already done so much, In my opinion, we should have these guys that are bred or started from a breeding pond, like a farm system, a little league system. Get these guys going, build them up, and then have, just some type of like pathway to get to the top. And the UFC can sponsor those things. It doesn't make that a conflict of interest if you're literally endorsing, like, hey, we're not going to necessarily hire these guys right then and there, but maybe on in the later, in the future, like, hey, we sponsored an event that allowed it. Like Sam Manuel and all these big casinos, they do these things. They sponsor these events to eventually get people to apply and work for them. That's just kind of the law of the land.
All right, piggyback off your idea of having the UFC hire these people or training them, right? I forgot who talked about it. There was a fighter who said, "Hey, we have a lot of old fighters, veterans that know the game, know the wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and everything, right?
And that need jobs."
But there's the thing: the referees don't make good money. So why would you leave that pool when you can go to a different organization that pays more, but you're not refereeing? And also when you're refereeing, you're doing big events like UFC and also doing the very, very small events. So the pay is not that great for the referees.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it boils down to just like being a nurse, being a police officer, being an
essential worker.
Yeah. You have obligations that are bigger than the job. If you're going to do that job, you're not going to get paid well, so you have to do it for something more than that.
Yeah.
And
the purity
us
of the sport
exactly us as just a generation and a society have lost that because it's about how are you paying me? Where's my reward? The risk to reward. I'm an incentive based guy. I operate on incentive. Now that doesn't apply to the show. We're not getting paid a penny to be here. We are doing this for the fun and the love of it, and eventually we would love to do this for work. That is the type of thing, like, you have to have some sort of desire for that, and if you are in that field and you want to be a referee, you want to be a judge, it'd be like us, bro. Like, for example, I have a black belt in Taekwondo. I would like to become a ref or a judge one day. I've been in a couple fights. Don't try me. At the end of the day, I'm just saying, like, I would be okay with taking a little less for doing something that I enjoy a little more.
You want to add to it, Hector? All right, here we go. Let's go.
Okay, so this is probably why I'm more of a boxing fan than a UFC fan. In boxing, the referees are trained to know when a fighter can't fight anymore. So when they know they can't go, they stop the fight without the other whatever side of the fighter is on. UFC doesn't have that. They'll let the fighters just go. It doesn't. You can be concussed, and he will be like, "No, I'm good," and he'll let them go until they're knocked out. Boxing, that's not how it goes. If they know they can't go, they'll stop the fight, whatever round it's on.
Yeah, okay. They give you a 10 count. They allow you to stand up, and if you can't show that you're able to follow commands, then they are able to assert themselves. And if you actually know, in boxing, they do that. They assert themselves in the sport more than we like, but I would rather have that aspect of, a judge is kind of like doing a little more than a little less. Because then we're kind of like, at a certain point, like, yo, stop the fight. Or, yo, what are you doing, bro? You should have been in there. Or, why did this happen? Instead of it being like, damn, man,
Or you can get the opposite effect where a referee's in there controlling the outcome of the fight. Be like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you standing them up? He needs to work on the ground, which has happened before in UFC. So
with there being two.
Boxing has been around for it's one of the longest sports ever. So they kind of nailed it down. You're not getting no new surprises in boxing. There's not new uppercuts. There's not new hooks. There's nothing new to see because you're only fighting with your hands.
Yep.
In UFC, the sport started in 1993. So it's only, give or take, 20-some years, under 30 years, give or take. So it's a very new sport. There's a lot of things to learn. We adopted a boxing system, point system, and everything's still moving in that direction as far as, like, we're making the changes. But we finally got a fight, replays?
Yes.
That finally happened, so that's a positive. Instant
replay.
Replays. Without stopping the fight or the outcome of a fight. So it's slowly baby steps, but it's coming there. Guaranteed they're probably going to change the gloves to something else.
Yeah, I think what's happening here is, the bigger the sport grows, the more people will become involved with it. It just I guess us as us fight fans, we have expectations already, and so we demand a little bit higher out of these people. But with all that being said, at the end of the day, I'm not unhappy with what the sport is bringing and what these guys are doing. I could say they, for the most part, they're doing a great job. There's just little instances here where we could see where that could be changed, where you could adapt a little bit better, where you should be moving a little bit quicker. But at the end of the day, like, if I'm in the cage with heavyweights, I'm probably going to be a step behind too, because I'm not going to get slammed with one of those big heavyweight shots.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It is what it is. It takes time. Those things take time. You see the mistakes happen, and they correct them. It's just there's a lot of rules that need to be changed, because it's not like they change them here in, let's say, in Las Vegas. They have to go to every state and change those rules. They have to change those. The down knee opponent. Where is it up? It has to be 2 knees, 1 hand on the floor. New York is still adopting the old MMA rules. Like, they're not even up to speed. So it really is going to take a long time, but that's the difference between boxing and UFC. Boxing has been around for so long where everyone knows the rules. Everyone knows everything, what to look out for. You're not going to get nothing new.
Yep.
You're just going to either get more excitement in the fight or,
more frustration.
So it is what it is. Great boxing recommendation. Recommended for everybody. That UFC fight was, I felt like we spent more time on it than we should have.
It's all right.
It is what it is.
We're having fun.
Yeah, we're having fun. Let's go into some fight announcements. These are all the fights that got announced this past week.
Yes, sir.
So here we go. But the first one is the top-ranked ESPN Plus Herring versus Frampton. This is the World Junior Lightweight Championship on April 3rd in Abu Dhabi. Oh, where are they going in Abu Dhabi? Are they trying to take the UFC arena or what?
Nah, they're probably getting the leftovers.
This is a leftover tent.
Yeah, just all the skin and bones, they're like, here, you can put on an event.
Yeah. All right, who do we got next?
We got my boy Darren Till, ranked number 4, versus Vittori. This is going to be on April 10th for the middleweight bout, and I believe this is a fight night, so free 99,
Free
guys.
99. You can't complain with that.
This is actually a big test for Till right here. This is if he loses another fight, my boy's dream fight with Adesanya is going to disappear. So this is the next big fight that we want for Adesanya, but Darren Till has to earn it. And this is actually the first card that they're going to be simultaneously casting on ABC and ESPN+. So Saturday, you could either tune in to ESPN+, where you pay your $5 a month, or you could turn into ABC.
Or didn't the Max Holloway fight? That was the first one, right?
No, that was the first one that was on ABC. But I don't think it was simulcasted on ESPN+.
It was on ESPN+, though, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
Maybe they just didn't announce it.
I don't know. I know I tuned in. That's all I know.
Yeah. All right, what is what it is. Well, that one's also going to be on ABC, so. All right, here we go. We got next up on May 6th for PFL, Fabricio Verdum versus Rena Ferreira. Ferreira?
I'll take that.
All right.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Verdum's got to offer PFL, because they picked up a couple of these leftover fighters. Anthony Pettis, Verdum. Who else did they sign?
God,
they even got Clarissa Shields over there, which we're still waiting for her to fight.
Oh yeah, we still do. And which is, speaking about Clarissa Shields, we have Kayla Harrison, who's her friend, and they've been kind of teasing about boxing or doing an MMA fight, and I'm like, Kayla Harrison versus Clarissa Shields, that would be a great women's fight right there. That would be one of the greatest. Oh, get the heck out of here, Hector. All right, hold on. Let's see what he has to say.
Just a short comment. I just wasn't impressed by the Clarissa Shields fight like 2 weeks ago. It was slow. Yeah, she wasn't really moving that much. It was just, I wasn't vibing it. I don't think she was all the hype you were trying to make her out to be. Just saying.
Oh, look at that. Now, Clarissa Shields is about to find you and whoop that butt.
Well, all right, so this is the thing. With Clarissa Shields, I mean, I feel like same with Adesanya in the approach when he fought Anderson Silva or even against Yoel Romero. It was a fight that we know that's how they're going to win, and it was slow, and it was ugly, and it was nasty, and it was just not a fight that we wanted, but they got the dub. I think maybe this is where Clarissa Shields is at, where she's fighting the fight that she knows that's how she's going to, because she's maintaining the success right now. Taking a loss would destroy everything that she's working for. So I think, what she's doing is preserving herself maybe for the long run. Now, this is all just from an outside view. Who knows? I don't know. But I think maybe that's what she was trying to do. I don't want to have you jump off the train, the Clarissa Shields train, just yet, because when it comes down to MMA, there is no being slow. You're gonna get A real fighter's going to push the pace, especially if there's a weakness that they can expose. We want to get you to the ground. We want to see your takedown defense. We want to see how you panic under, I want to clinch and then, just throw some counters. There's so many scenarios, who knows how she'll be able to respond. But I feel in that fight, she did what she had to do and fought an ugly fight because that's what she had to do,
Hector, go back to last night. My apologies. We didn't even get to the second part of that name because we started talking about Clarissa Shields. So we have Kayla Harrison versus Mariana Moraes.
Well, my
May 6th on PFL. So my bad. We didn't, no disrespect, but
my instinct is, she has almost as many losses as she does wins, so I'm not really worried about the chick that's fighting Harrison. I'm just
no. But still, I just want to give her, we didn't even mention her name. I was like, hold up, go back.
It's on there for the viewers.
It's on there for the viewers.
They can read.
All right. Well, that concludes fight announcements. We're going into the fights that are going to happen this week.
Let's go.
Boxing and MMA. First one is going to be on DAZN. This is the boxing event. This is Ortiz Jr. versus Hooker. And, man, this one's going to be a good fight. Hector?
They should have shrunk that Golden Boy logo just a little more.
All right. What do you think of that fight, Hector?
It's going to be a good fight. Both of these guys are quick, strong. I think it's going to be another great boxing weekend. I think boxing's competing with UFC, and boxing is winning right now. Two great fights in the last couple of weeks. So.
Oh, boy, Hector with some more hot takes.
There you go. Yeah. If you guys haven't noticed, he's a mega boxing fan. He's not a big UFC guy or MMA guy.
He's heavily influenced with the boxing.
Heavily influenced. All right, so that one's going to be on Saturday. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time on DAZN.
Yes, sir. Now let's get into some real putazos, bro.
Let's get into the real fights here.
So.
Look at Hector's live in the back. Let's go into some real fights.
Some real fights. We got my boy Derek Brunson going to be squaring up against Kevin Holland on March 20th. That's on a Saturday, and it's a fight night, so it is free. Yo, guys, this right here is going to be a banger.
Kevin Holland's going to take this.
I agree. So. Kevin Holland's going to take it too, but we got to give credit where credit's due. Brunson is very technical.
Yeah, he is.
He's an ideal test for where Kevin Holland is at right now. I feel that this is going to be the determining factors that if Holland is a title contender or not, because he has been knocking out, these big name guys, but we're talking about Jacare Sosa. We're talking about other people that are not necessarily in talks for title contention. Brunson's been chopping at the bit for a hot minute now, and he's earned his position where he's at. So this is a good fight for both these cats to kind of see where they're at.
Yeah, and I like it, man. I love this fight. So.
I got my boy Trailblaze to the top.
Look at that, man. What a great episode today.
Yes, sir. Oh, that's it?
Well, look at that wraps it up, dude. We're already getting close to the hour mark.
My goodness.
We just rolled through that like nothing.
Yeah, we were expecting a little longer, guys.
Yeah, we were like, oh, this is probably gonna be like an hour and 40 something. So we stuck it, compressed it the 1 hour.
Thanks, guys. Well, we just like to provide high quality stuff. That's all we got to say.
There we go, man. Well, enjoy the fights this weekend, guys. Enjoy the boxing event on DAZN. Enjoy the UFC fight on ESPN Plus. Anything else Hector wants to say?
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right. Oh, Smooth wants something. Smooth wants to say something.
Before we send off, I just want to say, I really appreciate you guys. I've noticed a lot of feedback, and I've noticed a lot of views, and our stuff's trending upwards, guys. This is the year. This is the year for all of us, not just us, but for you guys viewing in too. I know I'm speaking some positivity, and I want to hand it off to Hector on that one.
Yeah, let's go. Let's look a little word from Hector.
Nothing, man. I just been dope being on the podcast. I was glad you guys called me in. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Again, I'm not a UFC guy. I watched it with Alex, like the beginning, with John Jones. He's my favorite fighter. Will always be my favorite fighter. I don't care what you say about John Jones. He is the GOAT. Will always be the GOAT.
Facts.
But I've been having fun these last couple of podcasts, man. It's been a blast, and I'm just glad guys took me off the ride.
Heck yeah, man. That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
we appreciate you.
Seriously.
And no, thank you for all the great work. We did a lot of notes. You're doing the slides in the back behind the scenes, and you're going to be on camera next week. Hopefully everything comes in on time, and we're going to have a new look. We're thinking, we still have it split up, me and you, and then we have one camera towards Hector?
I'm thinking that's the angle. Just depends on how much video editing that's going to take. But
I know, man.
We got some plans in the works, guys. So we expect you to tune in next week.
Yeah, stay in it. Subscribe, comment, turn on the notifications so you get the latest episodes. With that being said, shoot.
1, 2, 3.
Be ringside. Bum, bum, bum. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Love you guys. Deuces.